Hey, Jim Powell again, finishing last leg of my commute home back from Atlanta. Good one to end on. I listened to a TED Talk with Steffen, I'm not really entirely sure. But anyways, he's talking about the shareable future. The idea being that, you know, the world's getting more populated, we're running out of space, not necessarily so much physical space, but the sheer fact that because of the number of people, we're using much more resources, more energy, more water, and just to sustain this, you know, growing number of people, we all can't, you know, keep on doing what we've been doing. And so, you know, his idea was to reduce carbon emissions, which I really won't get into the whole debate over whether or not global warming is real or not. You know, people would say, well, it's the hottest summer we've ever had. People would also say, well, this is also the period where solar flares are picking up to the highest peak they've ever had, so it's really the sun, blah, 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 blah. I don't really care. My general point on the whole topic on climate change is I don't understand why we don't take an approach, or we don't pitch the fact that, you know, we leave the earth in the same condition or better off in the way we found it. So basically requiring over the next 50 to 100 years some sort of sustainability policy, so that, you know, as much as you put out, you somehow take back, or, you know, I guess that's the whole idea of carbon credits or something like that, but that's not, you know, trying to monetize a system. I don't know if that's necessarily the right way to do it. You know, the idea of I mean, we already the tree companies already do it. You know, the paper companies, they cut down trees, but they always end up putting back two in the place that they cut down. Cutting down rainforest, that's a whole other topic. Anyways, it's off topic from what the TED Talk was about. Was that sustainability would be best done by having more densely populated areas, because the more dense something is, if you can meet. The key here is meeting the people's needs, or not only just their needs, but their wants. You know, having a place that people would want to be in really tight proximity with other people. I mean, one of the reasons why I moved from Atlanta was because of traffic, but there are a few places in Atlanta where it actually just makes sense to not even have a car, just to walk. The place that I typically stay in the Sandy Springs, Sunwoody area, they have an interesting model. It's not the best it could be, or what it should be, but the idea is that they have a Target, lots of restaurants, and then you have all these condos built up literally right around it. So I mean, you know, you can go to Target and get pretty much anything and everything you would want or ever need, and it's within walking distance of your apartment. And you also have all these nice little restaurants and shops that you can simply walk to, so there's no need to drive to them. And then of course you've got the MARTA, which is, you know, relatively close if you needed to get downtown or to some of the other outlying business areas. Some of the key problems, you know, of course, with that, which, you know, you've got to pay attention to the aesthetics of such an area. You know, building housing that has soundproofing walls, so that way you don't hear your neighbors. If you really want to keep families, I mean, one of the reasons why I moved from Atlanta was because, you know, I wanted to have a family, and I didn't feel like that, you know, raising a kid in an apartment in a condo, you know, it requires a mindset change. You know, if I had better soundproofed, you know, places to live, and if I had parks that I could go to, so I don't feel like I'm just enclosed in a city of cement, you know, that. You know, I don't want that. I wanted a yard. I wanted trees around my house. You know, that's why I didn't want to live in a cookie cutter home. You know, I think if you address those things, you could make a place where lots of people would want to live, and be tightly packed to each other, and you could do it in a way that addressed the aesthetics, that addressed the logistics of supplying all the people's needs, and recycling the water, reducing their need for transportation, and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree that is going to be the future, and what it should be and what it has to be. But, you know, I don't understand. You know, I think a lot of people in my generation, we question as to, well, why isn't this something more prevalent, and why is it not more common? And the only thing I can guess is it requires too much capital, upfront capital, to do that. Or maybe is it because we live in such a free society that you have to get so many key players to go together with their own special interests, that they don't want to play together, and to develop a society that's so tightly integrated in a neighborhood so tightly integrated to meet all these demands and all these needs and all these desires just becomes almost impossible. So is that the reason why these ideas tend to not work out like we hoped? I don't know. So I'd be interested to hear if there's others who agree, disagree with this idea, and as thoughts on why this hasn't come to pass yet. So thanks. Bye.